Welcome back. Time for the latest chapter of the TV5 Book Club. Teresa Sneed is here. Thank you so much for coming in.
I'm excited.
We're excited to talk about the Salem Witch Haunt. Tell us about this novel.
Well, actually, it's 3 books in the series. It's a complete series, and it covers the trials and hangings of every single victim during that time in 1692. Book 1 covers the trials and hangings that happened in June and July. My grandmother was one of those. My 9th great grandmother was one of the women hanged in Salem in 1692. Book 2 covers the trials and hangings in August, and then Book 3 finishes it with the trials and hangings plus the crushing to death of Giles Corey in September.
Now, I think it goes without, I think I could deduce how you became interested in this subject matter, but having a relative involved in what happened there, is that what inspired you, and what was it like going through the process writing these books?
It was really incredible, because when I first found out that I was related to somebody who had gone through this horrific thing that I'd heard about when I was growing up, and of course I didn't know that I was related until I was an adult. But when I discovered that she was my grandmother, and not 10 times removed, straight back, 9th great grandmother, and I took a different look at Salem. She became real to me, and the people became real. And then some of the ways that Salem has been presented over the years seemed really not fair to them. I wanted to be a voice for my grandmother and a voice for the other victims of Salem. So I researched, I used primary sources. I went right to the primary sources and read handwritten documents to support my storyline.
And what did you find as you did all this digging? Found the voices that were coming from Salem. What did you uncover?
Oh my goodness, so many things. It was really, it took me about 10 years to do all the research that I did. And I went really deep into documents, and I found out some things that were incredible. Each person that was hanged had a story, and they were incredible stories, and some of them were very sad. Sarah Good was, she was a woman who was not very well liked in her neighborhood, and she was known as a beggar and a pipe smoker, and she would go from barn to barn, house to house, to try to find some place to sleep with her children. She had well, she had one child, 4-year-old Dorcas, and she was pregnant. And so she would keep her 4-year-old daughter with her in tow as she went from place to place, but nobody wanted her because she was really mouthy. And she was really a mouthy person, and she would sling curses at you left and right, which was probably not a good thing to do back in Salem. You know, just like we would normally say when we get upset with somebody, something might just come right out of her mouth really quick. Well, she was a quick like that. And so when she was went through her trials, and she was obviously hanged. She gave birth to the daughter first in prison, in jail, and the daughter died. Mercy was her name. She died, which is so sad. But they actually accused her daughter, her 4-year-old, 4 years old, of witchcraft. And her daughter stayed in jail after her mother was hanged for like 7 to 9 months in jail, a 4-year-old. And they say that when she finally was released from prison, she was never the same. In fact, her father, he made sure that the money that they received, because they tried to reimburse some of the harm that they did to these victims, he made sure that all that money was given to her caregiver, because she had to have a caregiver for the rest of her life.
Just fascinating. If you want to learn more, teresasneed.com is where you can go, teresasneed.com. Thank you so much for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.